Lewis Hamilton has had it with Mercedes. He has gone on to complain publicly about the W15, revealing to the media that their recent upgrades had very little impact on their overall performance at the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix this past weekend. Despite the Silver Arrows rolling out a fresh batch of updates on the W15 at Imola, which followed the first phase of their Evolution package debut in Miami just 2 weeks ago, the results fell short of expectations. In Sunday's Grand Prix showdown, Lewis Hamilton crossed the finish line in 6th place, just edging out his teammate George Russell, who had to navigate 2 pit stops. Hamilton's Mercedes trailed the leader, Max Verstappen, by a hefty 35 seconds, as Verstappen clinched his 5th victory in 7 races, further cementing his dominance this season. The 7-time world champion let his thoughts known after the race, downplaying the impact of the new developments. He commented that the updates didn't make a big difference in their performance. These are small steps, but very, very small. My pace in the second relay was comparable to the guys ahead, but I think we are still missing 2 or 3 tenths. Unfortunately for Lewis, the W15 wasn't the only frustrating part of his weekend. He made a huge mistake during the race by going off track at Acque Minerali and crossing the gravel, which cost him valuable time. On this, he said, "I think that I probably lost about 5 seconds with this off-track excursion. Then, that meant I was coming out behind Fernando, and I lost a few more seconds there. So I think in total, probably 8 seconds. So not ideal, but it didn't make me lose any positions." Despite the updates seeming minor, Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff struck a more optimistic tone. He said that he feels more confident, believing his team is finally on the right development path after enduring 2 frustrating seasons. "I think what we see on the car now is that these progressive gains we are making, rather than a miracle upgrade, put the car in a better balance window and simply make the car more efficient," he explained. "But these are the things where you gain a tenth or a half a tenth, but at the same time, the other teams are improving." Toto Wolff has been balancing frustration with cautious hopefulness regarding their 2024 F1 car. Despite a streak of lackluster results, Toto asserts that the team has now built a solid architectural foundation for their W15 car, which he believes can bridge the gap to Red Bull. Reflecting on the results, Wolff admitted his frustration. "I don't think we've ever had such clear indications as we've had in the last few races, where we really saw that the car was either really fast at high speed or really fast at low speed, but never both at the same time," he told the media at Imola. Even in the face of adversity, Wolff is unmoving in his belief that the W15 boasts the necessary aerodynamic framework to take on Red Bull head-on. When questioned about the car's capability to bridge the gap with Red Bull, Wolff's response was nothing short of certain. He said, "Yes, it does. The basis of the car is more conventional in terms of defining where we want to have downforce and how we want to generate aero efficiency. We pretty much know where we're going, and that's the advantage over, let's say, the 2 years before." Toto's cheery comments about the future of the W15 is especially confusing, given Lewis Hamilton saying that Mercedes finds itself in no man's land following his 6th place finish in Sunday's race. The team's progress was overshadowed by similar strides made by rivals like Ferrari and McLaren. Throughout the race, neither of the Mercedes drivers managed to break into the leading group formed by Ferrari and McLaren, ultimately finishing in 6th and 7th positions ahead of Sergio Perez's Red Bull. The 7-time world champion shared these thoughts on Sunday evening in Imola after the race ended. "We were in no man's land. There wasn't much more to offer us today. This is where we are. We have to do our best. And this was the best we could do today. We took a small step forward this weekend and improved. Unfortunately, that is slightly overshadowed by the step forward taken by others like McLaren and Ferrari. We must continue to strive to bring more updates that can improve performance. In the meantime, we need to make sure we score as many points as possible." After the positive words, Wolff eventually admitted that Mercedes' current performance level is far from satisfactory. He described the last 2 seasons as a period of zigzagging as the team struggled to find a stable direction. This instability has been a major hindrance, leading to what he calls false dawns. "I don't know how many times I've used the stable platform," he said. A stable platform is a car where you know where you are going, where you think you can get the best performance. And that has been the zigzag in the last few years, and there have absolutely been these false dawns. Wolff didn't shy away from acknowledging a fundamental issue that slipped under their radar, worsening their challenges. Despite this setback, he shared a newfound optimism about the team's trajectory moving forward. "I think there's a fundamental thing that we didn't see when we should have, so there's more confidence at the moment," he explained. "Unfortunately for the Silver Arrows, the state of the W15 has opened doors to the rest of the grid, making a mockery of them." Ferrari's team principal, Frédéric Vasseur, didn't hold back in his response to questions about Mercedes posing a challenge in the future. With a touch of sarcasm, Vasseur remarked that rivals Mercedes must have certainly made strides, especially after their performance at the Emilia Grand Prix. When pressed further about Mercedes' progress, Vasseur's reply was, "They were 28 seconds behind Charles Leclerc at the end of the race. So yes, I think they got a little closer." George Russell had a horrible weekend after being treated like a second-class citizen by Toto Wolff. He declined to comment on the circumstances that led to him falling behind his teammate, Lewis Hamilton, during the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Initially ahead of Hamilton, Russell pitted in the latter part of the race. Although the strategy paid off with Mercedes securing the extra point for the fastest lap, the team opted not to allow the teammates to swap positions and revert to their original order. Russell made a request over the radio to reclaim his sixth-place position, but Mercedes did not issue the order for a switch. And because of this, Russell finished in seventh place, one position behind what he thinks he deserved. As a driver, you want to finish the highest position possible. And all weekend, I've been ahead of my teammate. I was ahead the whole race comfortably. And then that was sort of just losing the position for the sake of it. So we've got the extra point. As I said, I'm not going to talk about it tonight. It was P6, not for a podium or victory. I think we pitted a bit too early, compromised the race slightly on my side of the garage. But as a team, we came away from the extra point with the fastest lap, Russell told the media. Toto Wolff explained why Mercedes chose not to fulfill George Russell's request to regain his position against Lewis Hamilton during the Imola Grand Prix. The Mercedes team boss appeared to back Lewis Hamilton over George, which is surprising considering Hamilton's impending departure for Ferrari at the conclusion of the 2024 Formula One season. In 2025, George Russell will be the face of Mercedes, while Lewis Hamilton moves to Ferrari. Despite this transition, Toto Wolff appears to maintain his support for the seven-time world champion Lewis Hamilton. During the Imola Grand Prix, George Russell pitted and secured the bonus point for the fastest lap, but was denied by Mercedes when he asked to reclaim his position from Hamilton. "I think taking the point for the fastest lap was a little goody, but the lap times were dropping off because we beat the team early, and there was the risk of losing the position a few laps later to Perez. Beating one of the Red Bulls in these circumstances was advantageous. And our tyre life at that moment, on lap 57, the tyres had gone and melted. And that's why we made the call," Wolff explained to the media. Not one to miss an opportunity to insult his other driver, Toto said this to Sky Sports. Lewis would have probably taken him anyway. "We are racing for P6 and P7 and wanted to keep Red Bull behind. It was a safety call. What do you think? Are Mercedes' best years behind them? And what do you have to say about Toto Wolff still giving Lewis Hamilton preferential treatment? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell for the hottest F1 news.